Hello friends, today we are going to learn the next part of Narayanpur incident, which is written by Shashi Deshpande. Three characters, that is Mohan, Suman and Amma, both were gathered in a puja room. One boy staggered with a cyclo-styling machine, and he kept such a cyclo-styling machine in a puja room. It was a secret thing. Nobody know about that the secret thing, or that it is a cyclo-styling machine. Such that the work was going on secretly. Only the three people, Mohan, Suman and Amma, knew about that, the parcel or that the cyclo-styling machine. And now here Mohan ordered to that the brother and the sister, that is Babu and the Manju, to watch about that the people, about that the person who was coming towards their home. Why? Because here already we know that such as the thing or the work was going on secretly, and so here he ordered to that the Babu and the Manju. And now here we concentrate on the next paragraph. Babu, Mohan said as they settled down to the work. Mohan ordered to the Babu, yes Babu, sit out in the front room and keep watch. Means his role was like a watchman. And now here he sat there, Babu sat in the front room. And then he ordered to the Babu to give give us a warning if anyone seems to be coming to our house. Manju, go to bed. Manju, go to bed. Means he ordered to that Manju to go to the bed, or else he went on. Noticing her crestfallen face. Crestfallen face means that is a discouraged face about that the Manju. Mohan saw, and after that again he ordered to that the Manju, you sit here in the hall. Means in his house maybe there are three rooms. The first room was that front room, second room was the hall, and third room was that our puja room. And in that the puja room, secret machine, that is the cyclo-styling machine was there, and their work was going on secretly in that the puja room. And already Babu sat in a front room. After that the Manju sat in a hall, and in puja room three members were there. Who? That is Mohan, Amma and the Suman. And he ordered, you sit here in the hall and pass the Babu's warning to us. Us means who? Us means who? That is Mohan, Suman and the Amma. Such is the order which was given by the Mohan to our Manju. Then Babu sat outside alert and attentive. Babu sat outside alert and attentive. He felt a thickening in his throat. It was a beginning, and at last he was doing something. What pity! What a pity Gopya, Murli and others would never know about the perhaps someday. He checked himself and kept his eyes and mind on the road outside. It was deserted. Nobody was there. It was deserted. In a little while, the 9 o'clock siren went off. Babu thought for the first time that the day of war being fought all over the world. And suddenly, coming out of his reverie, he tensed. A man riding a bike got up and stopped right outside their gate, but it was only a light cigarette, it seemed. Babu could see the match flaring, then the glow in front of the man's face. The small point of light moved as the man got on his bike and rode away. The small means one more bike, Babu flung himself inside. Manju turned a startled face to him. Someone is coming. The Babu said like that, someone is coming. And now here he followed, Babu as well as Manju followed his order which was given by the Mohan. And so that's why Babu sat outside alert and attentive. Attentive means careful. Attentive means careful. Babu sat outside alert. He was always alert. He was always alert. He was attentive. He felt the thickening in his throat. Felt thickening in his throat. गळ्यामध्ये काहीतरी झालंय असं, म्हणजे खरखरल्यासारखं काहीतरी. Yes, maybe. He felt the thickening in his throat. It was the beginning. Now the work was going on secretly in that the puja room. And now here he was watching. Babu was watching about that the person who is coming towards that the Mohan's or his, or there is Mohan's house. It was the beginning, and at last he was doing something, and he was doing his role as a watchman, as a guard. And now here at last he was doing something. What pity! What pity! Gopya, Murli and others, maybe the Gopya, Murli and other friends, others were the friends of that is our Babu. And they did not know about that secret thing. They were the pity. What a pity about that the Gopya, Murli and others would never know about perhaps someday. And the je Gopya hai, Murli hai, the friends of that is our Babu. And they त्यांना काही माहित नव्हतं, and ते निष्पाप मुलं, innocent, they did not know about that the secret thing, about that the cyclo-selling machine, mysterious parcel, they did not know. Some days. He checked himself and kept his eyes and mind on the road outside. He was performing his role. He was alert, he was attentive, and so that's why he checked himself and kept his eyes. हा अलर्ट आहे आणि आपलं काम तो चांगल्या पद्धतीने करतो आहे, आणि म्हणून तो रोडकडे कोणतरी येतं का याकडे तो टक लावून पाहतो आहे. कारण या पद्धत जर कोण येत असेल त्या संदर्भातली माहिती तो कुणाला देणार होता, या मोहनला देणार होता, आणि म्हणून हिज रोल वॉज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट हियर. He was alert and attentive in his role, and he checked himself and kept his eyes and mind on the road outside. Mind means the road was there outside his house, and so that's why he was watching. It was deserted, nobody was there. Was there means on the road nobody was there. तिथं कोणी रस्त्यावर कोणतीही व्यक्ती तिथं नव्हती, कोणीही नव्हतं. Nobody was there. It was deserted, वाळवंटासारखं. Deserted means वाळवंट. तर वाळवंट तिथं होणार नाही, पण कोणीही तिथं नाही आहे. It was deserted. In a little while, the 9 o'clock siren went off. After some time, the 9 o'clock, the time was 9 o'clock, and there one siren went off. आणि बरोबर 9 वाजता, थोड्या वेळानंतर 9 वाजता बरोबर एक सायरन वाजते आहे. बाबू thought for the first time that the day of war being fought all over the world. आणि ती सायरन म्हणजे जणू काही आता युद्ध सुरू झालेला आहे. हा जो संघर्ष होता ब्रिटिश आणि जे इंडियन होते याच्यामधला जो संघर्ष होता, जणू काही या दोघांमधला आता युद्ध सुरू आहे. आणि सायरन म्हणजे युद्ध सुरू व्हायचे अगोदरचं एक इंटिमेशन म्हणतो. Yes, now the siren was going on at 9 o'clock, and Babu, the thought of Babu is very important. Babu thought for a time, for the first time, that day of war being fought all over the world. And suddenly, coming out of his reverie, he tensed. And now here, he was fully in his dream. Reverie means that is a diva sapna. Yes, reverie means that is a diva swapna. And या diva स्वप्नामध्ये means already given the word in your glossary. Reverie means condition of being lost in a dreaming. आणि त्या दिवा स्वप्नामध्ये तो गुंग झालेला आहे. आणि कुठेतरी युद्ध सुरू आहे असं काहीतरी एक स्वप्न, म्हणजे दिवा स्वप्न म्हणतो. त्या दिवा स्वप्नामध्ये डे ड्रीम मध्ये तो मग्न झालेला आहे. And now he was coming out of his reverie. He turns. And suddenly what happened? A man riding a bike got up and stopped right outside their gate. But it was only a light cigarette, it seemed. And now here suddenly what happened? When he was coming out of his daydream, he saw a person or a man who was riding a bike, and he stopped right outside their gate. And the one man was coming there. आणि तेवढ्यात एक माणूस इथे येऊन थांबलेला आहे, त्याच्या गेट पाशी थांबलेला आहे. A man was coming and stopped right outside their gate. But what happened? But it was only light cigarette. Yes. आणि तो येतो आणि मग आपला सिगारेट जे आहे तो लाईट करतो, पेटवतो. The light cigarette at him, Babu could see the match flaring, matchbox. आणि मग तो सिगारेट पेटवण्याचा तो माचीस म्हणतो आपण, तो पेटवतो. The match means here Babu could see the match flaring म्हणजे ज्योत. जे आपण माचीची काडी पेटवल्यानंतर एक ज्योत तयार होते, ती ज्योत तो बघतो आहे. Babu could see the match flaring, then the glow in front of the man's face. आणि मग ती ज्योत पेटवल्यानंतर फक्त माणसाचा तो चेहरा त्याला दिसतोय, बाबूला दिसतोय. Babu could see the match flaring, then glow in front of that the man's face, the small point of light. आणि मग ते जी सिगारेट आहे त्या सिगारेटचा पॉइंट, पेटलेली सिगारेट आहे. The small point of light moved as a man got up on his bike and rode away. And then after that the man rode away. He went outside. After that the man, one more bike came there. After that one more bike came there. Babu flung himself inside, and now here his role was very important, and his role was alert and attentive, and so that's why when he saw such another man or another bike, the Babu flung means to throw himself, उडी मारणे. Babu flung himself inside the room. Manju was there. Manju was sitting in the hall, and now here he plunged himself inside. Manju turned startled, and now here when he jumped into the hall, now the Manju was totally surprised or startled, frightened. Now here Manju turned a startled face to him. Someone is coming in. Someone is coming inside. Such a information was given by Babu to that the Manju or to that the Mohan. And then the year you see. When he said that someone is coming, what was the conditions in a puja room? You see, there was a silence from inside the puja room. Their faces looked at him blankly, the dim light giving them a peculiar look. Shadows quivered and danced as the wick in the oil lamp flickered and fizzed. Then Amma got up and came out, followed by Mohan. Suman stayed inside, and Mohan closed the door of the room. Manju, go to bed. Babu, you too. Such an order. At last Mohan ordered to that Babu and the Manju. When the Babu said that someone is coming, and everywhere, means in puja room, there was a complete silence. From inside the puja room. Their faces looked at him blankly. Their faces, there means whose faces? In puja room, 3 members were there. Mohan, Suman and Amma. 3 persons Faces looked at him. He means, oh, Babu was given such the information. Someone is about that, someone is coming. The dim light giving them a peculiar look, and in that the puja room, the light was a dim. Light was a dim. And only he saw only the look, that is a peculiar look of the three people, three person, Mohan, Musuman and the Amma. The dim light giving them a peculiar look, shadows quivered, and here totally they were frightened. Quivered means frightened. Three people, Mohan, Suman, Amma, three were the quivered, shadows were quivered, totally they were frightened, afraid. Shadows quivered and danced as the wick in the oil lamp flickered and fits. जसं wick म्हणजे वात म्हणतो, दिव्यामधली वात जशी हलते, तशा पद्धतींच्या यांच्या shadows आहेत, यांच्या ज्या सावल्या आहेत त्या हलतायत. It means that they were totally frightened. म्हणजेच ते totally काय झालेले आहेत, भ्यालेले आहेत. They were totally frightened. Wick in the oil lamp, the flicker means look ne, and the fizz means that is a make a hissing sound. Fizz means आवाज करणे. Yes, that is a making that is a sound, hissing sound. Then Amma got up. After that the Amma got up. Amma stood up and came out, followed by Mohan, followed by the Mohan. Suman stayed inside. Suman stayed inside. Inside means that is in puja room. Mohan and Amma went outside of that the puja room. Mohan closed the door of the room. Yes, Mohan closed of that the door of that the room. And Mohan ordered to that the Babu and Manju, Babu, go to bed. Manju, you also go to bed. He ordered to both. And suddenly what happened? There was a knock at the door. Babu rushed to his room, unrolled his bedroll and threw himself on it. A knock. A knock again. Who is there? Amma called out. Who is there? Amma called out. Knock, knock. Tick, tick. Tock, tock like that. Knock, knock. Mohan, go and see who it is. Manju, who had got into the bed too, noticed that though Amma's voice was steady, her hand trembled. Mohan came in saying, Amma, it's Patil, the sub-inspector. Amma held Manju's hand in a tight, hurtful clutch, though her voice was still cool and calm. What does he want? He wants to talk to you. To me? The hand relaxed. Manju drew her own hand back and rubbed it softly. And now here, there was a knock at the door. Suddenly what happened? The knocking was there. Knocking was there at the door. There was a knock at the door. Babu rushed to his room. Unrolled his bed and threw himself on it. Means they totally slept. They slept here. Babu slept. Again there was a knock. A knock again. And then here, what was a reply? Reply of Amma. Senior person. Mother of Babu, Mohan and the Manju. And now here, Amma said, who's there? Who was knocking? Who was knocking at the door? She said that. Amma said that. Who's there? Amma called out. Again the knock was there. Mohan, she ordered to that Mohan, go and see who it is, who was knocking there. Yes, go there. Who was knocking? Then the here role of that Mohan was very important here. Yes, Mohan, go to and see who it is. Manju, who had got into the bed to notice that though Amma's voice was steady and both were Babu slept inside the bed. And now saw everything, or he heard the voice or knocking, everything, that is a heard. Mohan go and see who it is. Manju, who had got into bed, to notice that the Amma's voice was steady. Then her hands trembled. She was totally frightened. Amma was totally frightened. Amma was totally afraid. And now here her hands also trembled. Amma held Manju's hand. Manju was there, nearby our Amma. Amma held Manju's hand in a tight. She was totally frightened. Amma was totally frightened. And so that's why she clutched the Manju's hand. And then here in tight hurtful clutch. And though her voice was still cool and calm, means here she was totally frightened. ती सुद्धा भ्यालेली होती, अम्मा सुद्धा भ्यालेली होती. हात थरथर कापतायत, मंजू पण कापताय. लक्षात घ्या, वातावरण हॉरिबल झालेलं आहे. And so here, what does he want? Amma said that. What does he want? Yes, now here Mohan came in saying, Amma, it's Patil. Yes, now Mohan came in saying, Amma, it's Patil. Means now here Mohan went there and he saw, yes, that is a Patil. And who was a Patil? Patil was a sub-inspector. Amma held that is a Manju's hand in her tight, hurtful clutch, though her voice was still cool and calm. What does he want? He means who? That is Mr. Patil. Who was a Patil? Patil was a sub-inspector. And now here such a information he got. He was there, Patil was there. Patil was knocking at the door. Who was a Patil? Patil was a sub-inspector and he was knocking there. And then the Amma's reply. What was the reply of Amma's is very important. What does he want? What does he want? She questioned to that the Mohan. Then the reply of the Mohan, he wants to talk to you. Mohan said to Amma, he wants to talk to you. He means who? Mr. Patil, sub-inspector. Sub-inspector wants to talk to you. You means who? That is Amma. And then the reply of Amma, to me? माझ्याबरोबर बोलायचं का त्याला? To me? And then here hand relax. Manju drew her own hand back. आणि मंजूने आपले हात पाठीमागे घेतले and rubbed it softly. आणि ते हात चोळायला लागले. कारण अम्मानं एवढं काही घट्ट तिचे हात पकडले होते की त्याला आत्ता त्रास होत आहे. तो रिलॅक्स केले, सोडलं, तिचा हात सोडते ती. आणि सोडल्यानंतर तिला त्याचा त्रास होत आहे म्हणून ती हाताला चोळते आहे. Yes, now here. I haven't come to you, trouble to you. A strange voice said, your husband was my friend in school. I am a friend. Amma got up quickly and went out. Manju waited a moment and followed her. There was a Babu coming out of his room, making a show of having been woken out of a deep sleep, rubbing his eyes, yawning loudly and repeatedly, mumbling in a grumpy voice, who is it? Who is it? But nobody paid him any attention, and soon Babu was taking in everything with the greatest curiosity. I haven't come to trouble to you. A strange voice. Voice was a strange. Who was the person who was coming or who was knocking at the door? That is our Patil. Who was a Patil? Already you know that Patil was a sub-inspector. And he said that I haven't come to trouble you. मी का तुम्हाला त्रास देण्यासाठी इथे आलेलो नाही. Who said this? Our Patil sub-inspector said this. I haven't come to trouble to you. A strange voice said. He introduced himself, who he was. What was the relation between Patil and a teacher? Already He was arrested by the British police. And what was the relation between the Patil sub-inspector and our teacher? He introduced himself now. He said that your husband is whose husband? Amma's husband. Your husband was my friend in school. Schoolmate. Friend. Both were friend. Classmate. Both were classmate. Yes, your husband was my friend in school. I am friend of your husband, teacher. He said that he introduced himself. Patil sub-inspector introduced himself he introduced himself, and then I am a friend. And after that, Amma got up quickly, Amma stood up quickly and went out. Manju waited a moment and followed her, and after that she went outside. Amma went outside, and then Manju also followed her, and she was also went outside. Manju was also went outside. There was a Babu coming out of his room, and now the Babu was there. Babu was already before that. Babu was in the bed, and now there was a Babu coming out of his room, making show of having been woken out of deep sleep, rubbing his eyes. आणि आपला बाबू झोपी गेलेला, आणि झोपेतून जसं उठल्यानंतर आपण जसं डोळे चोळतो, अंगामध्ये आळस असतो, तसा तो त्या पद्धतीने तो बाहेर त्या अंतरुणामधून तो बाहेर येतो. मेकिंग अ शो ऑफ हॅव्हिंग वोकन आउट ऑफ अ डीप स्लीप, रबिंग हिज आईज, रबिंग डोळे चोळणे, रबिंग हिज आईज, yawning loudly. Yawning means that is to open a mouth wide through the drowsiness, means that is a yawning. म्हणजे जांभई देत आलंय. कोण? आपलं बाबू. Yes, yawning. Babu was yawning loudly and repeatedly, mumbling in a grumpy voice. Grumpy voice means that is not a good voice. खरखर आवाज म्हणतो आपण grumpy. म्हणजे झोपी गेल्यानंतर जो आवाज येतो तो असा आवाज. त्या आवाजामध्ये तो प्रश्न करतो. He questioned that. What is the question? Who is it? Who is it? Who is he? Who is he? कोणते? Who is it? Who is it? Who is it? But nobody him any attention. And त्याच्याकडे कोणीही लक्ष दिलेलं नाही. And soon Babu was taking in everything with the greatest curiosity. And after that, लगेच म्हणतो आपण Babu was taking in everything with a great curiosity. And he had such a curiosity. Curiosity, जिज्ञासा म्हणतो, ही जिज्ञासा बाबूकडे होती. आणि हा व्यक्ती का आलेला आहे, कशासाठी आलेला आहे, हा तो आता चाचपणी करतो आहे. म्हणजे थोडक्यात, in short we say that he had such a curiosity, greatest curiosity he had. Who had? Babu had. Now we turn to the next paragraph. The man, was he really police officer? He didn't look like one in his dingy clothes. He was saying to Amma, yes, we were in a school together. Oh yes, he was far above me. He was a scholar and I was one of the dunces. He always helped me. Though God knows how often I would have been the cane, but for him. Please Patil Sahib, Amma said that rather impatiently. Tell me, please Patil Sahib, tell me why you are here. It's like this. Suddenly the man was brisk and businesslike. His glance swept over all of them, taking them all in shrewdly. Certainly this man was no dunes. There is going to be search in your house. Such information was given by the Patil to that Amma. There is going to be search in your house. When? Who said this? Amma said this. When? केव्हा येणार आहेत? ब्रिटिश लोक तुमच्या घरामध्ये येणार आहेत आणि तुमच्या घरामध्ये काहीतरी वस्तू आहे, त्याचा आम्ही ती शोध घेणार आहेत. असं म्हटल्याबरोबर द रिप्लाय ऑफ अम्मा वॉज दॅट वेन, कधी येणार आहेत, वेन. द रिप्लाय ऑफ अम्मा वॉज देअर. द मॅन, हू वॉज अ मॅन? Patil, sub-inspector. The man, was he really a police officer? The question mark was that. Was he really a police officer, sub-inspector? That is a Patil. He didn't look like a one. He didn't look like a policeman, like a sub-inspector. Why? Because he put on such a clothes, dingy clothes, dirty clothes. Dirty clothes. He had put on such the clothes. आणि म्हणून हा प्रश्न तयार झाला होता, खरोखर हा पोलीस ऑफिसर आहे का? कारण असं वाटण्याचं कारण असं होतं की त्याने त्यावेळेला त्याने ड्रेस कसे घातले होते, घाण ड्रेस घातले होते, डिंगी क्लॉथ्स, डर्टी क्लॉथ्स he had put on. The man, was he really the police officer? He didn't look like one even in his dingy robe, dingy clothes. He was saying to Amma, who was a Patil. Patil was saying to Amma. What he was saying to Amma? Yes, we were in school together. We were in school together. We means who? Again the introduction was going on. He wanted to give more informations about the past life. And now here he said that, yes, we were in school. We means who? Teacher and Patil. We were in school in a school together. Oh yes, he was far above me. He was far above me. He was a scholar. Who was a scholar? Teacher was a scholar according to Patil, sub-inspector. Sub-inspector Patil, according to him, he was a good person. He was brilliant. He was a scholar person. And I was one of the dunces. One of the dunces. Dunces means not brilliant. आणि मी एवढा ब्रिलियंट नव्हतो, पण ब्रिलियंट कोण होतं? मिस्टर, that is our teacher. Teacher was very brilliant, but Patil was not brilliant. He was one of the dunces. Dull. He was dull according to him. He told that. He always helped me. Teacher always helped to Patil in school days. He always helped me, though God knows how I often would have been caned, but for him. Please, Patil Sahib, said the Amma. Suddenly then the Amma said to that Patil, Patil Sahib, please. Impatiently she said that, Patil Sahib, please tell me, why are you here? तुम्ही इथं का आलेलात? तुम्ही सांगू शकता का? She requested, Amma requested to that Patil, why are you coming here? What is your intention to come here? What was your intention to come here? She said that. Then the year, suddenly a man was a brisk and business-like. Suddenly the man was a brisk means active. He wanted to give such a information to that the Amma. Already we know that he was the friend of a teacher, and so that's why he wanted to give such the news to that our Amma, and so that's why he came to his house or her house. Yes, the man was a brisk and businesslike. His glance swept over all of them, and ती नजर त्या सब इन्स्पेक्टर पाटीलची जी नजर आहे ती सगळ्याकडून असं फिरते, सगळ्या चेहरा तो निहाळतो आणि तो काहीतरी सांगतो आहे. His glance म्हणजे दृष्टी. His glance swept over all of them and taking them in a shrewdly. Shrewdly means that is a चाणाक्ष. चाणाक्ष नजरेनं तो असं पाहतो आहे. Sagacious we say that is a shrewdly. Certainly this man was a no dunce. खरोखर हा माणूस हा मंद बुद्धीचा नव्हता, हुशार नव्हता असं आपण म्हणता येणार नाही. खरोखर हा व्यक्ती चाणाक्ष होता, ब्रिलियंट होता. And now here, certainly this man was a no dunce, not dull. He was not actually, in reality he was not dull. He was a good person. He was a very active. He was a very, very active, attentive. And so here, and such a one information was given here. What was the information? You see the next. There is going to be search in your house. Such a information was given by Patil to Amma. There is going to be search in your house. आणि तुमच्या घरामध्ये कोणतरी आता शोध घेणार आहेत, ब्रिटिश पोलीस शोध घेणार आहेत. अशा पद्धतीची इन्फॉर्मेशन, सिक्रेट इन्फॉर्मेशन वॉज गिवन बाय द Amma here. And now here such a information given by the Patil to that Amma, and so that's why he came here to be alert about that the next activity. And so here such a information was given by Patil to Amma. There is going to be a search in your house. And then what was the reply? Suddenly the reply of that Amma, when they were coming to search in their house. Such a the reply of Amma. Then here we see the next part in next period. Thank you very much.